So today is a bit of a celebration video because we've had another stock enter the 100% return club. So for you guys that have been on the YouTube channel or follow my YouTube channel for a long time now, you know when I buy a stock, I buy it for 2 to 5 years and the aim is to get a 100% return. And today, well, actually not today, 2 days ago, we had a new stock enter the 100% return club. So we're going to talk about that and the lessons that we have learnt from that investment as well. And a few other stocks that are absolutely fine at the moment because obviously right now it's been a really good time in the stock market. So hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Let's get started. Now just a little shout out, if you do want to join the Patreon, £5 a month, link in the description, 2 exclusive videos a week, and I'll also let you know that I've been taking quite a bit of profit off the table at the moment with the rally that's been on, and obviously you guys on the Patreon know exactly what that profit is and how much it is. Someone asked me the other day, can I actually post how much I'm selling of each position? And the answer is no. I already tell you what I'm selling, but on the Patreon I gave you a percentage of how much I am selling of that position. And obviously I already give, in my opinion, a lot of information out for free on YouTube. There's certainly some information that I have to hold back for the guys that are willing to support the channel financially by, giving them money. So yeah, if you do want to know that, the link's in the description, guys. And if you want some free shares from Trading Tool 2, join the link in the description and you get a free share worth up to £100. Obviously, first of all, just briefly want to mention HIM stock. I mean, what another day. I mean, I was going to stick the HIMs and Hers is investable at $3.11. 11th of May 2022 on the whiteboard again, and I thought I can't do that. I thought Andy Pickering's already had a hard week. If I do it again on Wednesday, I think it might be the end of him, So I thought I'd be a little bit more gentle there. And yeah, another good day. Stock's absolutely flying, up nearly 200% year to date now. What a performance this has been. And yeah, it's the reason why, well, probably the main reason why I outperformed the stock market last year, and I am up and outperforming the stock market again this year, and without doubt the reason why is because of this stock. But Shopify as well. I mean, even Shopify is starting to join in the rally, up 3% today, but yesterday, it was up even more than that, up 37% in the last 5 days, and this one as well is up 52%. And this is Shopify, another top 10 holding of mine, and yeah, another one that's just been absolutely flying at the moment. I mean, the earnings were fantastic as well. The numbers were fantastic. I can see why the stock jumped, because the valuation actually isn't too bad. A lot of people stare at that and go, 117 times earnings, but because they're ramping up profitability how they are, it's actually like 60 times forward earnings. And for a company with the moat that Shopify has, and they've just come out and said they're going to grow mid to high 20% growth in Q4, yeah, the market is going to get very excited on that. So I can see why the stock is rallying. But the stock I wanted to talk about today is SOFI. I was going to do a full video on it the other day, but I've saved it for today. And SOFI, what a run that this one's been on at the moment. Recently, up 43% now year to date. But the reason why it looks a bit skewed is because of it was at a really high point when we came at the start of the year. If we actually look a year out, it's actually up 97% in the last year alone. And for me, that I've been on the YouTube channel for a while saying, look, I think anything in like that $6-7 range, if that sort of range is quite a good valuation for this. And obviously I've been on YouTube and I've kind of shown you that. I made a lot of videos like showing you the numbers that I had on SOFI stock, and this is when I did the numbers and I showed you guys on YouTube when the stock was $7. I said, look, on the low, I really like this. When on the low side, I'm getting still with pretty decent returns. So if things go wrong, I still think I could do okay, but I said, I think they're going to do really well. And if they do these sort of numbers, I'm seeing 100%, 200% upside. So I can see why the stock has been rallying up on these sort of numbers here. And, even though I showed you the numbers and I showed you the bull case, it shows you that, I made quite a few videos talking about can SOFI 2X, and you can see them all here on YouTube. And I remember, making all these videos, I remember there's so much negativity. I remember posting on the Discord and I said, I actually can't believe the negativity that's happening right now in SOFI. Every time I post about it, the comment section is full of people not liking SOFI, and it surprised me. I looked at them because I was seeing them doing triple beats all the time, and I couldn't believe the amount of people who are on those videos saying don't buy SOFI. And it's actually to the point of view where I'm going to put it as the pinned comment. I mean, some of these comments that I had on SOFI on these videos only a couple of months ago were absolutely belters. You know, these are the sort of comments we used to get 2 years ago when Hims and Hers was $3 and DraftKings was $8. But we're getting it on SOFI when it was like $6, $7. You know, nobody wanted to own it, and now at $13 it was piling in. And honestly, I think this is nearly like Hims and Hers poster worthy. I'll post it in the comment section. Give me a thumbs up if you want a poster, a limited edition poster, maybe like 30 of them or something, and I'll number them all. Yeah, on SOFI, because some of these quotes, I mean, it just gives you the prime example of, you know, when all that fear is out there, you know, people judge a stock by the share price, and actually, you know, sometimes judging the stock by share price, you just don't. You know, you look at the financials, and I got one here like, if you skip to the comment section, the answer is no, it cannot 2x. From past experience, the answer is no. One of the most hyped up stocks ever. Surely everyone at $10 would cash out. SOFI stock sucks. Going to $2 or $3 then bankruptcy. SOFI is a hype stock. Short SOFI. I mean, if you're shorting SOFI now, geez, Louise, I hope you're okay. Oh, Andy P, you didn't, did you? Not another one. We all know this. Nobody takes YouTuber tips serious. It's all about entertainment. Andy P, you think you'd learn your lessons on Hims and Hers, and oh, geez, Louise. SOFI is dead money. The stock absolutely sucks. Well, I tell you something, the gains in my portfolio certainly aren't sucking, but it just shows you guys, you know, everyone always looks at the stock price, you know, people, you know, it's been a bit of an, you know, sometimes you got to have that patience, you know, you sit on that stock for kind of 6 months, 9 months, a year, sometimes even longer, and, you know, you can get a bit frustrated that you think the stock's going to start rallying and then it gives it all back, but sometimes, as long as you stay at the financials, guys, and you see them keep beating as SOFI were doing, you know, triple beats every time, eventually that's going to get rewarded in the share price, and that's what's happened. And it's you just don't know when. It can be a snap of the fingers, and that's what happened with SOFI. It was like the snap of the fingers, and then boom, the stock goes up, and you're like, whoa, you know, what happened here? That's why you can't time the market. You know, people will be saying, like, during this time frame, is it going up? Is it going down? You know, you just don't know. You know, you could justify the rally that it's been on 3 months ago. You could have justified the rally it's been on 6 months ago. You just don't know when these rallies are going to happen, and then eventually, you know, the stock market does crazy things. It doesn't go up in a straight line most of the time. It can go up and down very rapidly, and eventually, all of a sudden, Wall Street goes, actually, we should all buy into the SOFI because it's doing really well, because they keep, you know, doing the beat on triple earnings. We'll all flood in to buy the stock at $10, $11, $12, $13, and a few people right now will say, like, oh, well, now it's in a bubble. SOFI stock's in a bubble. Well, I'd argue the case that there's definitely some stocks out there that makes me a little bit nervous that maybe they are in a little bit bubble. But from what we've seen, you know, when we ran the numbers only, you know, 2 months ago, I think the last time we ran the numbers on SOFI, there's no surprise the stock's gone up because there was really big upside on the stock. And if you actually look at the numbers right now, there's probably still some upside on SOFI. It's not gone crazy value. You know, you look at SOFI right now, and you know, the stock is a 47 times forward earnings. And I think 47 forward times earnings for a company growing at 29% year over year that's doing triple beats all the time isn't too bad of a valuation. I'd say right now, SOFI, in my opinion, is like fairly valued. I don't think it's undervalued. I don't think it's overvalued. I think it's a fairly valued. And that's going to happen sometimes. And sometimes when you have the stock that keeps beating financials, eventually you'll get the reward on the share price. And that's what it's been with SOFI. It's been a bit of a tough time because you've been sat in the stock for a while and like, oh, come on, you know, show me the rewards for these financials. And then boom, there you get it. You get the rewards. And it was always going to happen though at some point, because, you know, we look at it now and go, oh, it's fairly valued. You know, 47 forward times earnings, in my opinion, is quite fairly valued. But you got to remember, this stock is up 100% from where it was like 2 or 3 months ago. You know, this stock was sitting at 22, 23 forward times earnings. So this stock was at 22, 23 forward times earnings, and you were getting a company that was, you know, dragging up the profitability this much, growing 29% year over year. It was only a matter of time before the stock started showing that on from a financial point of view, and it showed on the share price. But during that time frame, you know, it's not easy. You know, everyone's there now saying, oh yeah, of course SOFI was an opportunity. Oh, of course SOFI was an opportunity at $6, $7. But sometimes, you know, it's easier when you know the outcome. You know, as you can see here, during this period of time, there was a lot of people during that time frame that went, SOFI is going bankrupt. SOFI is trash. SOFI is, you know, short SOFI. It's, you know, that's where the pressure comes on. You know, the pressure comes on is like, the stock market is a funny thing where it doesn't always come down to like how intelligent you are. It doesn't always come down to how good of an investor you are. I would say 50% of the stock market is that. I'd say the other 50%, and probably the 50% that doesn't get talked about, is the stock market is a mentality. Massively is mentality. You've got to have a really, really tough skin, a tough mentality. For me, that I'm putting all this content on YouTube. I had to see this for like a year and a half of people saying SOFI was trash because the share price wasn't going anywhere, and I had to stick in there and make the videos for you guys, and stick there and go, I still believe in it. And it's tough sometimes. It is tough to do it sometimes, but I'd say 50% of the stock market is mentality, where you go, you know what, I'm going to ignore the noise. I'm going to ignore the people that are not thinking SOFI is going to be successful. I'm going to stick with it. And then you get the rewards. And during that time frame, there's a lot of people that, and they won't say it because you don't say it because you look an absolute idiot. But you look at so many other stocks. There'd be people that did the same thing with Hims and Hers and DraftKings and all the other, people would sold Meta at $80. There'd be people that, that crack with the mentality that go, you know what, the stock's not done anything for 12 months. Maybe they're right. Maybe this is a terrible stock. Maybe I should be selling this stock. And they crack. And that's the thing with the stock market, is that it's tough, and you've got to have a strong mental belief that if you've got to really ignore the share price sometimes, and you stare at those financials, and that's what I did. I was staring at the financials of SOFI and going, if they keep doing these financials, they will get rewarded, and then snap your fingers, there you go. I've seen it before. I've seen it multiple times in the stock market. Seen it multiple times where there's so many stocks, and you only even have to go back to 2022. That was a big time where there's so many stocks where they financially smash it and you don't get the rewards in the share price, and then all of a sudden, all that negativity disappears, snap your fingers as the share price erupts. You blink and you miss it. That happens so often, and that's why it's always, as well to be, in the long term, because if you're in the long term, you don't have to worry where this jump is. I just had to sit in it for 12 months and be patient, or 18 months and be patient, and go, you know what, I'm going to get the rewards at some point, and there we are. And now, we're up over 100% on SOFI. It's another member to the 100% return club, which obviously, the list just gets longer and longer and longer. And, that's a great thing, with sometimes with these individual stocks. We talk about, index investing is great. It's safe. There's not much work. You don't have to do that much work. But these are the days where, individual stock picking is, you love it. This is why you love it, and you wait for that kind of moment when this happens, that feeling of like, you have this stock investment, and within 2 months you look back on that stock investment and you're up 100%. As an individual stock picker, these are the days that you wait for, where you just see that that pop up, that 2 month rise, and you go, wow. You look at the money you make in 2 months and you go, wow, that's life changing money. Maybe not as much with SOFI. I mean, it's great money that I made on SOFI, don't get me wrong, but like Hims and Hers, I know we switched back to a different stock here, but Hims and Hers, I mean, there's not many investments that in the 2 years I've held Hims and Hers, when I started buying in 2022, there's not many stocks in that time where I've been able to make a 400% return on a stock in 2.5 years-ish, I guess. To make 400, there's just nothing, there's nothing out there, property investment or individual index investing. That's where individual stock picking is, that's the big reward. You life-changing money. Life-changing money where you're making 4x your investment in 2.5 years. It just, it's mega, and it's if you can do it right, it's exciting times. And like I said, half the time, 50% is actually intelligence and research. I got to say, half of it is mentality, and hopefully if you've got the mentality, you've done all right anyway. And I'm really happy. I'm really, really happy. I'm happy how this year, obviously after 2022 and how tough that was, it's, to have the year that we had in 2023 and now we're having this year in 2024, amazing, absolutely amazing, guys. So any of you SOFI shareholders out there, I hope you're doing well and you're doing, having a good time. And I guess for you Hims and Hers and Shopify shareholders, the same thing goes for you guys. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in a bit.